Welcome back to Weather Plus, everybody. I'm Tony Martin, watching it as we get into the end of the week for more cold air, more lake effect snow, and a possible storm coming up from the south over the weekend and early next week. Here's a look at the GFS model. Again, this is Friday morning, and what we have going on is more cold air working in from the northwest. The freezing line at the surface basically now dropping off to the south and east of Pennsylvania. That's the initial blue line heading off towards parts of the Carolinas. In its wake, some moderately cold Arctic air crossing over the Great Lakes. And, of course, when that happens, we have northwest winds, and that will begin to generate some lake effect snows, it looks like, during the day on Friday. As we get into the evening hours, that main Arctic front begins to push its way off to the south. So we're deeply entrenched in the cold air. Now we're watching off to the south. Low pressure begins to form across the Gulf Coast states. And as that low pressure system forms down off to our southeast, it will have a tendency to ride its way up towards the northeast. Now, whether it goes east-northeast or northeast will have a big impact on our forecast as we go throughout the weekend. This is Saturday morning. As we get into Saturday evening, again, there is that area of low pressure now heading its way off the coast. Plenty of cold air in place, a big high over parts of southeastern Canada. And whenever you have a high pressure system there and a low pressure system off the east coast, we do have east and northeast winds. So that will bring in the moisture off the Atlantic Ocean. That high off to our north will keep the cold air in place. And, of course, the storm off to our south will be providing the moisture. We'll be watching the track of it. The track further inland would obviously bring all of this heavier precipitation that you see just offshore. We'll begin to shift it off towards the northwest, and that would be snow for us. So we will watch that as we get into the weekend. By the time we get into Sunday, that storm system continues its way off towards the north and east. Another area of high pressure forms over parts of Canada. That means fresh cold air heading into Pennsylvania. But as we get into Sunday night, there is some signs that warmer air will come back again next week.